And I am your best friend in the whole wide world. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if it's your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the content, and I hope you can give me a like and or subscribe. Today it is September like 19th or so, and just out with the macro lens. I've got a 100mm macro lens, and I've got it on my D500 today. Just want to use that crop sensor to get in a little bit closer. I'm at one of our local state parks here and wanted to shoot these lily pads that you can see behind me and see what kind of artsy compositions I can get. It's a brutal morning, you know, light-wise. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's just super harsh. I've got just my lens and my D500, and that's it. I've got no polarizer, nothing. Polarizer might have been good to have just to knock down any reflections, give a little more saturation to the greenness of the lily pad, and also give a little more darkness to the water. So, oh well, don't have it, don't need it, we'll make do. So anyway, so thanks for stopping by. I'm just going to get some shots, and I'll take you through them as we go, and maybe I'll take you into the editing process as well. So, all right, everybody. Hey, thank you again for stopping by, and here we go. As far as macro shooting goes, 99.9% of the time when I've got a macro lens, I definitely want to be on a tripod. But since the light is so bright today, I think I can get away with being handheld. Plus, that will help me get into a lot more different angles to get those compositions that I want, and do it a lot quicker than you know, when you're being on a tripod. And I'll tell you, for anybody like just starting out, if you're wondering what tool you could get, what accessory you could get to really enhance your photography, a good tripod. Spend the money, get a good one. You know, you can get a good one now for $300 or $400. I know that's a lot of money, but it's definitely worth it. Tripod forces you to slow down, and slowing down means you're going to take your time, you're going to put some thought into the composition, you're going to put some more thought into your settings. You know, do you want to be at 2.8, do you want to be at 11, do you want to be at 16, and obviously the stabilization, right? So you're going to get that tack sharp focus. I would say, you know, if you've got a decent lens, a 50mm, which is, you know, the nifty 50, everybody starts with that. I would go out and I honestly would tell you to go out and get a good tripod. I'm looking for a good composition. I'm looking for color and contrast and shape, uniformity, symmetry, all that kind of stuff. And it also has to be, you know, within range of my lens. Seen a few. I kind of like this guy right down there, because you got a little bit of contrasty color, and you can see the roots of the lily pad, you know, going down into the water. And that's another thing Polarizer would have done. It would have allowed you to see right through the water and see those roots a lot better. Alright, so I moved down the pond a little bit. I'm finding the light's a little bit better down here. I'm getting a little more shadow, getting a little more contrasting light. So that's going to help bring out a little bit more drama and saturation. Make the images look a little bit better, I'm hoping. So I just shot this log. It's in between the lily pads and stuff. I was looking at it horizontal for like 5 minutes, and then I kind of figured out, it's like, you got to do it vertical. You got to do it portrait. So when I turned the camera around and went portrait orientation, it was like, oh my god, that's a beautiful image. I'll show it to you right now. Alright, so something else that you want to do, something else you want to remember to do when you're at one of these small parks is don't find just one spot and set up camp and stay there the whole time. Because at these small parks, you know, it's not like there's one mountain peak that you want to get at the right time, at the right light, etc., etc. So move around. Find different subjects, find different compositions, shoot into the light, shoot with the sun behind you, shoot with the sun off to the right or left, move around, obviously change your shutter speeds, obviously change your apertures and your orientation, your composition, all that stuff, so you can, again, learn from what you're doing. That's the big thing about photography, is you always have to be learning. Nobody knows it all. So yeah, so always experiment, always practice, always do what you need to do to learn new stuff. Every time you go out, you should try to learn something.
All right, so this is the first time I am screen sharing and recording while I edit an image. So hopefully this goes okay. I just have a one of the shots of the lily pads here, and you know, right out of the gate, this is the raw file. And so the first thing I do is I will do the white balance. So, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to use the auto white balance in Lightroom. It seems to work pretty well for me. I'll start there, then I will adjust it. Take a look. That was auto. We'll do, yeah, I kind of like the daylight setting better. So, and then what I do is I will start with the image itself, and I'll go to auto, and that's the first thing we get right out of the gate. That's not too bad. It's a little blue for me, and it's a little, I don't like the top of the water. I'd like to see the water a little bit blacker, so I'll increase my blacks. But one thing, you know, I do like the symmetry of this image, and I like the fact that you can see some of the roots of the lily pads. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up the highlights all the way. I'm going to open up the shadows all the way. You can see the histogram up here in the top right corner is looking pretty good. So I'm going to hit the, now I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to hit the Alt key. I'm going to click on the whites, and you can see where these specks are. That's where the whites are blown out a little bit. So I'm going to bring that down until they all go. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing with the blacks. I'm hitting the Alt key. I'm clicking on the blacks. And it's okay to take the blacks actually a little bit further. And especially since I want the water to be darker, we're good there. So yeah, that's not bad. I'm liking the colors. I got rid of some of that blue uh, color cast, which was from the sky. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of clarity. I'm gonna give it, like 10 points or so of clarity. I'm gonna see what the dehaze will do. There we go. I kind of like that, but now I got more blue to get rid of. That dehaze slider tends to bring in a bluish tone, bluish magenta tone. So I'm going to go back up here to the temperature and slide it a little bit to the right and see what that does. There we go. And I'm going to bring the blacks down a little bit. I like it. I like that. Yeah, that's good. So the one thing I've not done yet is crop this image. And usually I will have done that by now, but I kind of like the composition. I like how it's cropped. I'm not going to crop it at all. Um, so I'll go to the details tab. And again, I'm going to hit the Alt. I'm on a Mac. I'm hitting Alt. I'm going to go to the masking slider. Same thing. I'm going to slide it to the right. I'm going to stop right about there. I like that. Lens corrections. I do the same thing with lens corrections every single image. It's just remove chromatic aberration and enable profile corrections. With this lens, I get very little, if any, change on those two sliders. I'm not going to do anything with transform. I'm going to go to the effects and I'm going to add a little bit of a vignette, no more than, like 10 or 15 probably. You can see it's darkening it up. I'm at 22 right there. I'm going to bring it back a little. Don't have to do too much on this image. So now, those are all the basic editing steps that I take. So now I'm just kind of looking around the image to see if there's anything I want to dodge or burn. And what I'm seeing right now is maybe this upper left corner. There's a lily pad that's submerged, and you can see it. But maybe if I give it a little bit of exposure, just kind of enhance that just a touch. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go click on the upper right here, open up that panel. I'm going to double click right here on effect to reset everything back to the middle. Just going to take the slider, the exposure slider, move it over to the right. Not even half a stop. I'm at like 0.35. And I've got auto mask checked. I'm just going to go over this guy right. Ooh, that's awful. Yeah, that's not good. So it was at like 0.3 of a stop of exposure. I've got it down to 0.18 is just enough, I think, to make that lily pad that's submerged show up just a bit. And I think we're done. So that's about it for this one. It's a real quick edit. I like the image. It came out pretty good. I like the darkness in the water and how the green lily pads pop against it. Love how you can see the stems or the roots of the lily pads seeking into the water. This is, yeah, I like it. So yeah, so there's a quick edit. A very quick one.
You don't have to be smart. No need to dress up.
That's it. So thank you very much for stopping by the channel. I hope you enjoyed the images. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop me a comment, hit the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Again, I'm trying to get to 1,000. Not too far away. It's taken a long time to get there, but I'm getting close, so with your help I can definitely get there. Alright, so thank you all so much for stopping by the channel, and remember, I'm Garrick Gillette, and I am your best friend in the whole wide world, so hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next week, folks. Bye bye.
Wishing back. Cutting grass and chopping wood can be romantic. Sipping coffee under the apple tree is gentlemanly. Well, you're a good man, quite the best man.